Welcome to the Active Documents for Sales media demo. The purpose of this demo is to provide you with a walkthrough of the Active Documents for Sales product and its capabilities. The Active Documents for Sales module allows customizable HTML sales statements and sales order advices that incorporate essential drill-down functionality to be emailed directly to your customers. Your customers then receive the documents immediately in a flexible format that will allow detailed on-screen analysis and investigation. The results? Less money spent on ongoing stationery fees, less time spent on administration, and possibly a reduced amount of debtor days. Let's take a look at the software. Before you can send your statements or SOP advices to your customers, you need to set up Active Documents, and that's a very quick process. If you go into Tools, Setup, Sales, and Active Documents for Sales Setup, here you can decide on what the look and feel of the statements will be, and you can have as many different profiles as you wish, so different customers may receive a different look and feel of statement. You can see we can change things like the background colour, font colour, size and face. We can create some text that goes into the email that the customer will receive with their statement. We can put our company logo within the statement and we can say where that's going to go. And we also have a very useful banner text window within the statement. And that allows us to tell customers about things like promotions. We also then have other details that we can include, for example contact details, transaction details, and here you can see we can also uncheck some of these. So if we don't want to show all of the transaction details, but we do want to show some of them, we can state that within here. We can also show their finance terms and the period overview for that customer. Once we've set up our profiles, we then need to enter the customer's email addresses, and we do that in the Active Documents Sales Email Setup window. Here we choose the customers, and we say whether they're going to receive sales statements via email, and whether they're going to receive SOP advices via email. And if they are, we enter their email addresses, and we can enter copy email addresses or blind copy email addresses as well. Once we set up our profiles and we've said who's going to receive the documents via email, we're ready to send out our statements. Active Documents utilises the Print Receivable Statements window in Standard Dynamics GP. We choose the statement run for which we'd like to send out the emails, and we use the additional button to enter email statements window. This window picks up all of the details of the customers within that statement run, and if they've got an email address attached to that customer, it then picks up the email address and suggests we want to send the statement via email. If that customer does not have an email address, we can choose to print off the statement. We then need to choose the profile, and once we've done this, all we need to do to send off all of our emails is to hit the send button. This will send all of the statements via email at once. The setup for sales order advices is very similar to the setup for statements. I'll just show you that window quickly. Here you can see I have one sales order confirmation profile set up, and you can see the fields are very similar. But this time we just have contact details and terms at the bottom. You can send sales order advices either for individual sales orders as you enter them onto GP, or you can send a lot of sales order advices all at once. If you just want to send a single sales order advice, you can do this from the sales order entry window. So if I pick order, and I'll select an order that's already been entered on my system. We then use the additional button again, and you can see we have email single SOP advice as an option. If I click on that, it will pick up the customer and the email address that we've entered against them, and then to send that sales order advice, all we need to do is hit the send button. If we want to send a lot of sales orders all at once, we have a mass sales order routine that we can send. So if I pick order in the print sales documents window, and again go to the mass SOP advice link within the additional button, it will then return us details of all of the sales orders that are on the system. And again, if we've got an email address set up for that customer, it will show us the details and give us the option to email out that sales order. With the checkboxes, we can untick them if there are particular ones that we do not want to send. We then choose our profile and then hit the send button to send all of these sales order advices out to the customers all at once. So let's take a look at some of the emails and what the customers receive. Here we have an email as your customers would receive it. We have the text in here as stipulated in the setup within Active Documents and the statement attached. If we click on the statement, it will open it within an Internet Explorer view for us. At the top you can see we've got the customer's details, and we have the statement date, and then we have the transaction details in the middle here. We have various transaction types showing, their dates, credit amounts, debit amounts and net balance. The customer can therefore see exactly what they owe you. They can drill down into the invoice details should they wish to do so. Here they can see this particular invoice was for 3 deluxe shoulder rests, and they can drill even further into that to see on this occasion how many were ordered and how many were billed. If this item were a serial tracked item, they'd also see the serial numbers that they purchased. You can hit the return button at the bottom of any of our screens to return to the beginning. If we scroll slightly further down, you can see the links to finance terms, period balances, to send us an email, to go to our website, and to see our contact details. You may remember we set up whether these would show within the profile that we set up for our statements within the Active Documents window in GP. So if I click on finance terms, for example, we can see the customer's credit limit, payment terms, any APR, and they also have a link to email us. If we click on period balances, the customer can see within here how much they owe you and in which period each of the amounts became due. You may have noticed the scrolling bar that's at the bottom of all of the windows. This again has the text set up within our profile, and this is a very good way of letting customers know about maybe promotions or news items. Let's take a look at an SOP advice. Again, the SOP advice is as an attachment, and the text within the email is as per the profile that's set up within GP. If we click on the link, it takes us through to another Internet Explorer view. This time we have a slightly different profile set up, so we have green column headings rather than red, but we still have our logo in the right corner at the top. We have the customer's details, the order date and any references. If we scroll slightly further down, you can see the items that were on that particular order, how many of each item, if any are on back order or have been cancelled, and the unit price and extended price with totals. This way your customers can see exactly what they've ordered, check for anything that shouldn't be ordered that's on the order, or anything they've missed off. We then have our links at the bottom again. Again we have things like contact details so that the customer can get in contact with us easily. Terms and conditions, if you have any particular terms and conditions that you'd like to set up. On this occasion I have none. And I've also created a link to our website here as well. Again, this is all set up within the profile for this particular SOP advice. And again, we have our scrolling window. So although the look and feel is the same, this offer advice allows you to confirm your orders with your customers once they're placed with you. The statement allows your customers to see how much they owe you and over what period of time. Finally, let's take a look at the Active Documents reports. There are 3 different types of reports that you can run for each of the documents that Active Documents allows you to email out. We just take a quick look at the Statements report. We'll just modify that and choose the destination to be to the screen. If I hit the print button, that will then print the report, and it shows me each time a particular customer, in this example Aaron Fitz, has received his customer statement via email, and the statement ID that was used each time that statement was sent, along with the email address it was sent to. We also have other options of reports. We can see the reprint, so this will give you the details of any documents that have been sent out to your customer more than once. And Sales Enabled will show us all customers that have email addresses set up against them that we can send statements to via email. We have the same type of reports for SOP. So for our sales order advices, we can see details of every time a sales order has been sent out via email to a customer, any reprints, and also all customers that are enabled with an email address for us to send the sales order document through to. That concludes the Active Documents for Sales demo. If you have any questions, please do feel free to contact us. You can email sales@swareindex.com or call us on the telephone numbers shown here. Thank you.